Welcome to episode 384, where I'll be exploring the contrast between modern dieting trends and the Ayurvedic approach to eating. Ayurveda offers personalized dietary guidance designed to nourish and heal your body. It's viewed as a fundamental component of a sustainable, holistic well-being strategy rather than a short-term restrictive measure. So please stay tuned to learn more. Hi there, I'm your host Colette, and on this podcast I will be sharing the teachings of Ayurveda, yoga, and holistic health practices. Now, if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend checking out the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. Thanks for listening, and now here's a new episode. Welcome back to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. It's Colette, and I'm doing a solo episode today talking about why Ayurveda does not promote dieting. When we think of dieting, we often think of restrictive eating, calorie counting, eliminating entire food groups, or following short-term trends to achieve weight loss. Ayurveda, on the other hand, gives dietary advice which is personalized to nourish and heal your body. It's seen as an integral part of a holistic well-being strategy, which is sustainable, rather than something to control or restrict in the short term. And so now I'm going to take you through several points showing you why Ayurveda doesn't align with modern dieting trends. The first one being one-size-fits-all diets ignore individual needs. Most modern diet trends are generalized approaches that assume what works for one person will work for everyone. Ayurveda acknowledges that each person has a unique constitution called Prakriti in Sanskrit. And we also need to consider current imbalances called Vikriti in Sanskrit. Meaning one person may thrive on a diet that makes another person feel unwell. So a one-size-fits-all diet simply does not work. With each person having a unique combination of the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha doshas, this influences their digestion, metabolism, and food needs. For example, a high-protein, heavy diet may strengthen the Vata dosha, but cause more sluggishness and heaviness in the Kapha dosha. Or a diet of spicy, light, and easy-to-digest foods may be ideal for the Kapha dosha, but it will not be satiating for the Pitta dosha, and the excess spice can cause Pitta imbalances. The next point is that diets focus on weight loss rather than health. Many modern dieting trends are driven by weight loss goals rather than overall health, digestion, or energy levels. Ayurveda views excess weight and low body weight as a symptom of imbalance, not just a number on a scale. Ayurveda teaches us that each person has an ideal body weight depending on their unique doshic makeup. For example, a Kapha-dominant constitution has a tendency to carry extra weight with a more well-rounded figure. A Pitta-dominant constitution will have a medium build with much more muscle definition. And a Vata-dominant constitution has a lean body type with less muscle mass. So rather than focusing on weight loss, Ayurveda focuses on making sure the body is functioning optimally. And that begins with the digestive fire, our Agni, making sure the Agni is working efficiently in digesting food, which will help to prevent toxin or ama formation, which is a result of undigested food. To ensure that our digestive fire is functioning optimally, Ayurveda recommends cleansing the body at regular intervals throughout the year. And this will help to eliminate any accumulation of toxins or any accumulation of doshas, which could result in imbalances in the body if left unchecked. With the amount of toxins we are exposed to in our modern world, it's essential to take some time out to cleanse regularly. Yes, your body has natural detox processes through our stool, our sweat, and our urine. However, these detox functions can decline over time. And if, for example, we have sluggish stool movement or constipation, that means we're not detoxing efficiently. These natural detox functions can become overwhelmed also by the sheer onslaught of toxins we're exposed to daily in our food, water, air, beauty products, household products, and so much more. And when our body is overwhelmed by this amount of toxins, the liver is overworked trying to cleanse the blood. And then our body will start to store excess toxins in our fat cells so that they don't continue circulating in the bloodstream. If we have a large amount of toxin accumulation, our body may hold onto fat cells in order to store these toxins, which will lead to weight gain. Now, I want to make it clear, being skinny fat is real, and this refers to a person who has a normal BMI, body mass index, but they may still have excess body fat too. So regular cleansing is very important for preventative health, our well-being, and our longevity. Now, if you want support, I do have a spring cleanse coming up, and my next discounted group digestive reset cleanse starts March 28th. This is a personalized cleanse, which comes with a 90-minute online consultation with me. Again, we're not doing the one-size-fits-all approach here because it doesn't work with cleansing either. And in this online consultation, I will determine your birth constitution and also your Vikriti, or your current imbalances. And then I will tailor the recipes, the self-care, the mindfulness practices to you and your lifestyle. And then we go through the cleanse as a group in a private community where you'll receive support and accountability. If you're interested in joining this group discounted digestive reset cleanse starting March 28th, then click on the link in the show notes or visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com. For this group event, go to the events page. And if that date of March 28 doesn't work for your schedule, you can do a private cleanse. It's the same structure. It's just that you get to choose your own dates and you have me one-to-one for support. And you'll find the private cleanse information on the program's page. This Ayurvedic cleanse will not only help you to eliminate toxins, but it will also help you balance your doshas, your digestion, your metabolism, your hormones, and calm your mind and your nervous system, along with promoting vitality, longevity, while sustaining an ideal body weight for your unique constitution. The next point I want to make is that modern dieting often promotes restriction and deprivation, which can weaken digestion. Unlike restrictive diets, Ayurveda views food as a sacred, nourishing force that influences not only the body, but also the mind and emotions. Ayurveda believes that food is the first form of medicine. When we eat properly for our mind-body type, we prevent disease and maintain vitality. Every meal is an opportunity to balance the body rather than deprive it. Extreme dieting and fasting can aggravate the Vata dosha, which can lead to irregular digestion or Agni Vishma, resulting in bloating, gas, fatigue, and long-term metabolic issues. The Vata dosha already has a tendency to forget to eat or be skipping meals, eating too little or avoiding fats and carbs, which can disrupt the body's natural balance. And the Pitta dosha does not tolerate fasting, as Pitta tends to have a really strong digestive fire, which requires regular and substantial meals. Ayurveda teaches us that eating the right foods at the right time keeps digestion strong and prevents imbalances and cravings or binge eating cycles. And talking about the right foods at the right time, that's my next point, is the timing of meals. Ayurveda puts a great emphasis on the timing of food so that it's in tune with the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm refers to the physical, mental, and behavioral changes we experience within a 24-hour cycle. I discussed that in detail in episode number 8. Now, of course, this meal timing and the types of foods should be tailored to each individual. But in general, Ayurveda recommends having your main meal with the harder to digest foods in the middle of the day when your digestive fire is strongest, between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Our evening meal should be light and easy to digest, and ideally having that before 7 p.m. so that you have several hours to digest before bedtime. And Ayurveda does recommend a type of intermittent fasting in that you stop eating by 7 p.m. and wait until you feel hunger the next morning before eating. Now, as I said, this advice needs to be tailored to each person because, for example, a kapha-dominant constitution tends to have a slower digestive fire and does well with a very light or maybe no breakfast if they're not hungry. And instead, it may be best for the kapha person who doesn't have any hunger to just have a ginger tea, which will help to stimulate the digestive fire. The kapha dosha can be happy with just 2 meals per day, whereas a vata dominant constitution needs to make sure they're having their 3 meals per day and ideally at a similar time daily to help regulate their body, as the vata dosha has a tendency towards irregularity in digestion, elimination, and energy. And for a pitta dominant constitution, well, we don't have to worry about them not eating because their digestive fire is so strong, they will get hangry. And therefore, it's important to make sure that they have their food prepped and ready to go so that hunger doesn't cause heated emotions. The timing of food for all of us is essential to help regulate all the systems of our body. Let's discuss now how we eat, because the modern dieting culture talks very little on how we eat, whereas Ayurveda puts a great emphasis on how we are eating and focuses on mindful eating. With all our modern conveniences like prepackaged food, drive-thrus, and so on, it's so easy to eat on the go or while multitasking. And I often listen to health podcasts and sometimes hear the advice of, grab a quick protein snack while running errands. Ayurveda helps us to understand that in order for our body to digest and assimilate food properly, we need to eat in a relaxed environment, focusing on our food. In Ayurveda, eating is a mindful, joyful, and sensory experience rather than a chore to check off. And so we put a great emphasis in Ayurveda on not only when you're eating, but how you're eating as well, and making sure that you're eating in a stress-free environment. My next point is that modern diets often create emotional and mental stress. Many people feel guilt, anxiety, or frustration when they don't stick to a diet perfectly. Ayurveda encourages listening to the body's needs rather than rigidly following a diet plan. When people feel deprived, it often leads to emotional eating or an unhealthy relationship with food. Ayurveda sees food as deeply connected to emotions and mental well-being. And in my cleanses, I recommend tuning into the true sign of hunger. And for many people, this is often a huge discovery, because sometimes what we think is hunger is actually thirst, or we may be using food to suppress stress or emotions. For example, Vata types may snack due to anxiety or nervousness. Pitta types may eat when frustrated or angry, and Kapha types might crave comfort foods due to emotional stagnation. Stress eating, emotional cravings, and mindless snacking are often signs of imbalance. Tuning into your body and mind, creating awareness, and learning to read the different cues and needs of your body and mind can be a great journey of awareness with Ayurveda. Another thing that modern dieting doesn't take into consideration is seasonality and environment. Ayurveda teaches us that food should change with the seasons and one's living environment. For example, a raw food diet in cold weather can weaken digestion and increase a vata imbalance. A high protein, meat and dairy heavy diet can create sluggishness for the kapha dosha, especially during the springtime. And a diet of spicy, fried and acidic foods during hot weather can increase the pitta dosha. Modern dieting rarely considers these nuances, while Ayurveda makes seasonal, environmental, and individualized adjustments a key part of eating well. And that's why I always promote going to your farmer's market, buying your produce from your local farmer, because then you'll know what's in season and you know it's local, and you can talk to your farmer, find out what they're using on the land. And it's usually a lot cheaper too, because it's abundant. So seasonality and environment is really important to consider in Ayurveda. And finally, Ayurveda focuses on longevity and sustainability. Modern dieting trends often lead to short-term weight loss, but long-term imbalance. Ayurveda promotes educating each individual on their unique constitution so that they can be empowered to understand their body's needs, creating a balanced, sustainable eating plan where no foods are labeled as good or bad. In my consultations, I promote 80-20 eating, and I provide dosha food lists where you have emphasized foods and limit foods in each category. For example, in the grains category, you'll have grains to emphasize because of their qualities and grains to limit because their qualities are not ideal for your doshic makeup. And so when you're feeling good without any major imbalances, you can have the emphasized foods 80% of the time and the limit foods 20% of the time. And that means you don't feel deprived. Ayurveda promotes a healthy, sustainable, and joyful relationship with food by teaching us to focus on nourishment rather than deprivation, learning about our unique mind-body type, listening to our body's needs, adapting our diet seasonally, and cleansing regularly so that we can enjoy digestive ease, stable energy, be free of cravings, and prevent disease in the body and mind, supporting long-term wellness and longevity. I truly appreciate this individualized, sustainable Ayurvedic approach to eating and well-being, and that's why I love Ayurveda so much and I promote it. Now, if you want support, please check out my online services. I have online consultations where I focus on healing, education, and empowerment, and I tailor a strategy to your unique mind-body type. And I really want to help you understand your mind-body type so that you can go forward making decisions for your health. I also have the Digestive Reset Cleanse. As I mentioned, the next discounted group cleanse is the Spring Cleanse, which starts March 28th. And if that date doesn't work for you, you can do a private cleanse and choose your own dates. If you like to study by yourself, I recommend my online Daily Habits for Holistic Health program. It's a 28-day self-paced program with the objective to help you live in tune with the circadian rhythm and educates you on how to become your own healer. And I combine all these services, my consultations, cleanse, and the Daily Habits program in my Reset, Restore, Renew program. Now, I know that's a lot of information, so please check out the comparison chart on my website so that you can see what you get with each service and you can decide what's best for you. And if you want to chat before booking a service, then please take advantage of my free 15-minute online services inquiry call. We can hop online and I can answer all of your questions. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you think this episode will be interesting to family or friends, I would appreciate it if you would share it with them so we can spread this wisdom of Ayurveda and we can change the perspective on this dieting culture. If you haven't already subscribed or followed the podcast, please do so and the new episodes will automatically download for you. And if you feel you're getting benefit from this podcast, I would really appreciate a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. Please come join me on social media. My Instagram page is Elements of Ayurveda Podcast. And on Facebook, it's Elements Healing and Wellbeing. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take good care of yourself. Be well and bye for now. Slán go fóill.